When I was 10 years old, my mom decided to go back to college to obtain her bachelor's degree. She claims to be a perpetual student who loves learning and challenging herself, and as I recall her telling me then, a college degree will help you go a long way in anything you decide to do in life, so do not waste the opportunity to get it while you're young. Needless to say, it has been drilled into my psyche that college would be my route to having a good career and making more money than those without a degree in my future career choices. But that seems to have been the mentality of our society over the past 50 odd years or so. But is it a true argument in today's ever changing economic climate and the varied careers available now? Is it more important to have a college degree or to learn a trade? I believe both have equal value in our society. Is there really a better option of the two? That depends on what you want to achieve in life and what is required to achieve those goals. Regardless of if you have a college degree, a certification for a skill or trade, or just learn while on the job, doing what brings fulfillment while making money is part of the process. There are many factors to consider when deciding what career path you want to take in life. On one hand, there is the option of what some may consider a career working with your hands or manual labor. This option does require both on-the-job training as well as some type of formal education most of the time. And the other option is to pursue a degree in the field of study for which you plan to have a career. This could be just an associate's degree, bachelor's degree, master's degree, doctorate, or even multiple degrees. Both have pros and cons that I will explore below in more detail. Pursuing a college degree can seem daunting due to the amount of work that can go into the process, not to mention the rising costs associated with college, both for tuition and textbooks. Is the work and cost involved worth it? Certainly, depending on the type of degree, field of study, career outlook, job associated with the degree, the economy, and the return investment. In Trenham's article For the Simple Dollar, he discusses that the average cost of obtaining a bachelor's degree in the United States now costs approximately $127,000 based on the Idaho Department of Labor. This does not include the fact that if you take out student loans to pay for the degree, those will accrue interest which only serves to drive up the cost of what could be paid back over the lifetime of the loan. Depending on the career path, this can be a greater hardship, however. If the degree is able to be utilized in a high-paying career, then the return on the investment can be financially substantial. Human capital theory views education as an investment decision. It is a statement that stands out to me as very relevant for the argument supporting the cost of higher education. In this publication by King and Lowe, they share the theory that education is the driving factor for increasing human capital, which in turn enhances the earnings potential of individuals and the companies that employ them. So detailed is their theory that they even include wage equations providing data and empirical results which go on to suggest that students of academic colleges are more likely to continue schooling and less likely to work than those of vocational colleges. As driven home as the premise has been to go on to pursue higher education to obtain a degree, there seems to be conflicting information as to whether or not high school students are really taking that route. In Sarah Karp's article, she provides the example of Manly Career Academy and how they have been overhauling their courses to provide a more stringent and diverse curricula to better prepare students for degree programs. The fact that college failure rate seems to be non-existent in many of the articles I read is disconcerting. Ms. Karp states that in Chicago public schools, particularly Manly Career Academy, they are focusing on preparing students so that they do not fail in college. Even communities have become involved in being a driving force to see students succeed and have post-secondary opportunities to pursue a college degree. Even though these efforts are valiant, not all students are prepared mentally, physically, or emotionally for the rigors of higher education. Trade or vocational schools begin to take center stage only within the last couple of decades as it pertains to post-secondary education or training. But why? One article that seemed to hit the nail on the head for me was by Graham Weeks. Youth unemployment is a growing problem, and yet at the same time the skills shortage is growing too. He discusses how in secondary schools that have been equal offering of vocational or trade opportunities in both curriculum as well as internships. Students can pursue a vocational diploma and a traditional high school leaving diploma simultaneously. There are so many jobs, careers, and opportunities for those who can provide a trade or skill, but there's also a shortage of those willing to perform the manual work for them, without realizing the rewards of self-fulfillment and many times the monetary reward. The advantage of trade or vocational schools and the jobs that they lead into range from a quotable salary versus with those with a college degree, lower cost of the post-secondary education or training, the length of time for that education or training, higher job security, and economic outlook for jobs that do not require a college degree. Rose Leadham provides many comparisons in her article for Entrepreneur, which focuses on these exact things. Most of the fastest growing jobs in the U.S. won't require a bachelor's degree, based on the projected employment growth for 2016 to 2026. She goes on to provide the following data based on earnings potential after 5 to 10 years. Trade vocational schools earnings is if the certification takes less than a year can average $47,000, and the certification takes more than a year, the average about the same. Associate's degree earnings can average about $45,000. Bachelor's degree earnings can average about $50,000. Other key factors for choosing trade or vocational is the cost of pay for the training or education and job security. The average cost of a trade or vocational certificate or degree is approximately $33,000. This is a significant cost savings, especially long term with the interest rates associated with student loans. As far as job security, technical or vocational schools trades are higher to export compared to jobs like computer programmers or assembly line employees. In the same sense, this makes vocational or trade jobs more competitive for those who pursue them. Since I was in elementary school, I thought I knew what I wanted to do with my life and career-wise, because I love architecture, engineering, and technology. Then in high school, I thought about what I really wanted to do in my life a lot more, and what I would have to do to achieve my goals. I thought I wanted to pursue a career in technological engineering, where I could incorporate the things I thought I'd love for most of my life. Some of this training would require me to work as an intern and learn alongside trade or vocational students, but the majority would be provided through higher education and pursuing a degree. After taking several courses in high school that focused in these areas, I decided to change my mind fully and provide my first love. Today, my degree program is music because it is what I enjoy doing most, along with technology and computer things as well. And I know still that I have to seek a degree to be relevant in any part of music, technology, and or engineering field. There are times I question if that is an accurate assumption or not, but I stick with it regardless. It is the right path for me. If anything I've learned from researching this topic, it is what I want to be fulfilled in life, and to be able to support myself doing what challenges me and what I love and find personal satisfaction in. Each person should do the same.